This is a visual timer, a handy time management tool that uses the display to show the passage of time. They're great for any age, as they don't require you to be able to read or count. And as I covered in my mechanical version video, you don't need to have ADHD or time blindness as an adult to benefit either, making these truly a beneficial universal gift that won't cost you an arm and a leg. Hi, name's Electrician, and I try my best to actually test the stuff I review. The mechanical version of however you pronounce it just has the numbers VT01, VT03, or 06 depending on model, and only the digital one as the Pro label. And the first thing I thought when I heard digital and Pro in one sentence that there must be some sort of app, or I don't know, smartwatch synchronization. Instead we got a horrible display. The worst I have seen in decades. But before we start talking about the one she told you not to worry about, let's first finish this one off. Stability, as you can see, is an issue. We get a new count-up feature besides the regular countdown, but it only goes to 60 minutes. Being digital and having magnets on the back pretty much screams, please use me as a kitchen timer. Well, I guess it's time to introduce the better timer that I briefly showed before. A hard task, as the one I have is so generic it didn't even have a brand name. It can count up or down up to 12 hours. So if you do see one with a name slapped on it, it's probably OEM. The display of the one I recommend is not something impressive. I guess we just take it for granted having a good screen these days. But Yunbaoit butchered it worse than my pronunciation. I mean, come on. When was the last time you've seen double image and ghosting, let alone having insane light bleeds from the sides? Yeah, this is one of those cases where it's hard to show on camera, but it's actually even worse in reality. One of the reasons I like mechanical versions when I just had the Pro was that it's not as distracting if you have some ambient light, but this generic one has 2 brightness settings and can go pretty dim or bright, making me question my preferences. Mom? Dad? I'm by brightness, even the size of the magnets. But let's see if it actually matters. This is the side panel of my computer. And we will emulate as if your kids are swinging the fridge door. I guess both of them will hold. The timer is controlled by the knob depending on how much, how often, and how fast you turn it. While clicking will start or pause the device. The manual, to my surprise, does a pretty good job at explaining, but it could have been avoided altogether by adding a mode key to switch between minutes and hours. Probably the only thing not covered in the manual is this protective film on the bottom. And while this might seem pretty obvious to you, remember, there's a reason for the stupid warnings. There's a foldable stand that increases both stability and gives better viewing angles. And notice how all the controls are on the side, including the power button. Much more convenient to operate. The display has all the important information available for you at a quick glance. The alarm mode, for example, a small triangle that indicates if the time is counting up or down, depending where it's pointed. Personally, I like the small inner circle that shows the hours. Oh yeah, the low battery indicator, as I found out the hard way as I was filming another review, only appears and stays on for under an hour in high brightness mode, and I believe it didn't notify me in an audible manner. As for testing the battery life, yeah, less long, dozens of hours. While I did test multiple times hitting the 12-hour mark, I just can't afford weeks of attention. Thankfully, both of these are using the Type-C charging port. Seems like most of these digital timers have free alarm settings, and since I own an audio level meter, it would be a crime not to test. You're looking at the noise floor of my room. Remember, it's all on a logarithmic scale, exponentially increasing, and just 3 decibels double the perceived sound. The third setting is silent, and these guys can screw up even that. It's not like making everything blink would cost you any extra, but it would be far more noticeable, especially when placed out of sight, as you, Yunbao whatever it, are so damn bright. At least for me. I'll be reviewing more visual timers and will gladly test your products, giving a fair assessment. Consider donating, using my affiliate links, and reacting with likes or comments to support small, independent creators.